Okay, we can go ahead and get started. I think the majority of the people are here. So, things are getting very close. Every day I keep getting more and more stuff. I finally got the information for our buses from here to the airport. They kept sending me the stuff around DC and I started getting worried, like they told me we were having buses, but finally got that today. So, if you could sign in on either one of these sheets, it's just so I know which kids to find tomorrow to give paperwork to if no one was here tonight. To make sure I hit everybody. And there is, if you didn't get a packet, there are still plenty up here. If you need a couple for different households, feel free to grab a couple. I can make more if we need them. But, okay, so we will be leaving June 3rd. It is an early morning, so I apologize for that. So we're gonna ask that everybody be here at the middle school at 2:30 a.m. When the kids get here, we will have the buses. We have 2 buses that will take us up to the airport, and they'll be out here on the side, and we will mark them. So we're gonna have bus 1, which is pretty much the boys' bus, and we call that Washington bus. And then the girls' bus, bus 2 is the Lincoln bus. I will be on bus 1 with the boys, and Miss Casitas is going. She will be on bus 2 with the girls. And we will ask that they leave their luggage out there, and we'll have cones marking bus 1, bus 2. That way they don't have to bring it in here, but then they'll need to come in here, and from in here they will get their lanyard and any other paperwork that they will need for the day and to check in so that we make sure we have everyone before we head out. But if they bring all their luggage in, it just gets very congested. So if we can leave it out there, that way as the bus drivers pull up, they'll help us start getting it loaded on so that we can go. We'll leave here at 3 to hopefully get up to O'Hare about 5. Our flight is a little after 7. We're flying with American Airlines out there, and we will fly into Reagan Airport. And once we get there, we will have other buses, and our tour guides will meet us at the airport. We will load everything onto the bus, and we will take off for the day for our touring. And then that evening, we will get to the hotel and unload that night. So the first night will be a long day. I'm sure that they'll sleep on the bus from here to Chicago and on the plane, because they're pretty good at that. Coming back, we'll fly back United Airlines, and we will go from Dooley's to O'Hare. And we will get back into Chicago about 11:15, and then we'll get on the buses, head back, and they're saying you will probably get back to Gibson about 2 a.m. So watch for updates. We'll send out messages as we get close. It's very interesting. I have the flight manifest, and so we just go to TSA. The adults have to have their ID. So if you're going on the trip, you have to have your ID. I sent out your names. Everything has to match. You'll need a real ID or your passport to get through. The kids do not need to have ID. We will go through, and they will call off their name, and they'll just check them off the list. So their names aren't quite as important. It doesn't have to be exact because they don't have to have their ID to get through. All right. And if there's delayed flights or anything like that, World Strides, I just call them and they figure it out for us. And they walk us through. If there's a delayed flight, we have to figure something else out. When we are going, I highly recommend, if everyone can, to do a carry-on bag versus a check bag. If you do a check bag, you will be responsible for the payment for that. And from what I got, they are $50 each way. And we're flying as a big group, so they told me that sometimes, depending upon the airline, we could get there, and if anybody's checking a bag, I would have to pay for all of them up front, and then people would have to reimburse me, because we're flying on one giant ticket and not 70 individual tickets. So it's just kind of a different situation, and I know some of the kids have asked me as far as like seating arrangements on the plane. We have not been given individual tickets, so I really don't know how that's gonna work. If it's just, we have, you know, rows this through that and pick a seat, we're just playing it by ear till we get there and find out for sure. I will send this out, but we have to follow all the TSA guidelines as far as, you know, your liquids have to be a certain ounce and fit inside the quart size Ziploc bag, all that fun stuff. So there, I did put a video in there. I'll send this out if anybody wants to watch it. Yes?
So in addition to a check bag, shall bring a backpack?
Yes, they can do the check bag and a backpack. And I do recommend that they have some type of a backpack, that way when we're out there, they can keep it on the bus with their extra stuff.
So the backpack would be the carry-on bag, correct?
No, the backpack is in addition to the carry-on.
Oh.
So the carry-on has to be, 21 inches or less, I think. And then the backpack, they can,
Is your first one?
yes, thank you. Yep. All right. Oh, it's gonna play a little video for you.
When packing your carry-on bag, keep in mind the 3-1-1 liquids rule. Liquids, gels, aerosols, creams, and pastes must not exceed 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters per container. This includes items such as toothpaste, shampoos, and similar personal care items. Consumables such as water, soda, and salsa must also comply with this rule. True or false, peanut butter is not a liquid and can therefore be packed in your carry-on bag regardless of its size. The answer? False. Peanut butter is spreadable and therefore considered a liquid and must also comply with the previously stated rule. All compliant liquids must fit inside a clear, plastic, quart-sized zip-top bag, and only one bag is allowed per passenger. That's 3-1-1. What about bottles that appear to contain less than 3.4 ounces? Ultimately, the size is determined by what is written on the bottle itself, so bottles like these would not be cleared to go through the checkpoint. They must be placed in checked baggage. If you have any questions or would like some more information, reach out to @AskTSA on Facebook or Twitter.
Okay, so behavior. While this is not a school event, we are representing the GCMS name. It is on all of our stuff, so just preach to the kids, be respectful when we get out there. The chaperones, bus drivers, our course leaders, our tour guides. We will have curfew at night. When we get back to the hotel, we'll tell the kids, okay, you have to be in your room by this time. And we usually decide it as we're headed back to the hotel at night, because it can vary when we get back there from 8:30 to 10 o'clock. So I don't want to be like, you have to be in your room and ready to go at 10:15 if we're just pulling in at 10 o'clock. You know, give them a little bit of time to decompress. We do have our night chaperones, so they do appoint 3 to 4 people that sit in our hallway at night. So if we're in a long hallway, they'll be, you know, at this end, and maybe a couple in the middle, and they watch the rooms and they report to any noisy rooms, any issues, if anybody tried to come out. They do in the morning find me at breakfast and they give me a recap of the night. So once they're in for the night, they're in for the night. If they were to need anything, they could say to the night chaperone, hey, I need Mrs. Warren, and they'll come find me. Be on time. So when we go places like the Smithsonian, you might say, okay, everybody meet back at the giant elephant at 2 o'clock. We really need everybody to be on time at 2 o'clock because we might have an appointment that we need to get to for the next time, and if we miss that appointment, then we wouldn't be able to see that place. If there are any major behavior issues, which we have never had, they will be sent home at the parent's expense. So, just be aware of that. All right, safety. They're gonna have their lanyard. It looks like this. I put the goofy picture there because when we get out there, every school you see is going to have some form of this that they are going to be wearing. So you will not stand out at all, but you're gonna wanna have this. It's gonna have your name on it. On the back, it's got the World Strikes emergency number. And then what I am doing for all the kids, I kind of divided the kids up to each adult, so there's like 2 kids per adult on this trip. that the adults just need to make sure that they're out of bed in the morning and at breakfast and on the bus when we go. But I have put my phone number and their chaperone's phone number on the back of their card. So if they have this all the time, they should be able to get a hold of somebody if anything should happen. But we have to have that. Always need to use the buddy system. We never want to see anybody coming out of the bathroom by themselves, because we're not in Gibson City when we go out there. We want to make sure that they are with somebody all the time. At night, the hotel that we're staying at, they just got a hold of me and let me know there is a gas station like across the parking lot, but the kids are not allowed to leave the hotel without an adult. So if they want to go over there and get snacks when we get back or something, they have to try to con somebody into taking them over. They can't go over by themselves. This is a World Strides rule, and it has been a big topic. DoorDash or Uber Eats, whatever, they cannot order it unless their parent is there with them, because, as you know, they might say it's going to be there at 9:30 and it not get there till 10:15. They have to be able to leave their room to go get it. So if they are in for curfew and it were to show up late, they couldn't go down and get it unless their parent would go get it for them. So just be aware of that, kids. If you have daily meds, if there's any health issues, please let me know so that we can talk about that and figure out what we need to do about that for the trip. World Strides, the 800 number that is on the back of their ID, there is a doctor on call that we can call about anything if it were to arise out there. So we have contact people. Please let your child know if they start to not feel well on this trip, like sick to their stomach or feel like they're getting a cold, please come and let me know. I do take like a mini medicine kit with me. I had one kid one time that was afraid to come and tell me that they weren't feeling well. They were afraid I was going to send them home. So their mom like tried to order medicine and have it shipped to them. I'm like, they should have just come and found me. They're like, they were scared. I'm like, I'm not that scary. But let me know, we will take care of it. I try to take Dramamine with me, headache medicine, any of that stuff. That way if they need it, we have it. Okay, so communication. On every table, there is a QR code. That is for the GroupMe account. I know I got hacked there at the beginning. I got in big trouble with my husband because I didn't have two-factor authentication turned on. But fixed all of that. So if you are not a part of that, please make sure you join, and that is for the kids too. That's what we're going to use to send out communication when we're on the trip. That way if they know. Then for the kids and any of the adults going, this app right here, Eventsees, we are going to do a picture scavenger hunt when we are out there, and there will be prizes for the winner. So if the kids could download this before we go. Last time we were trying to download one and some kids had some restrictions on what they could download, and so the day of it got a little crazy and they got upset with me because they couldn't join right away the way the other kids could. So if we do that, if they haven't downloaded, then when it opens up, we can get the code going and get them going. Some of the kids got pretty brutal with that last time. It was on. And then if you're not a part of our Facebook page, please do that. It's just 2026 GCMS Washington, D.C. trip. And when we are out there, I will encourage anybody that's on the trip to post pictures as we're going. And I know that the parents that are at home like to kind of see that. You're paying a lot for the trip. It's nice to see what they're doing out there. Okay, so meals. June 3rd, the day that we leave. So the only meal that they will not have a voucher for or be fed for is breakfast that first day. So they would need to have some spending money for that. But the first day we have lunch at one of the food courts. And so what that looks like, I just kind of put these in here, is like if they wanted to go to Subway, they would take their voucher and they could get a 6-inch sub or a pizza and a drink and a cookie. And that would be included in their meal. So it just gives them many choices of different things that they could get at the food court with their voucher. And then the first night, we're gonna have Chevy's Tex-Mex for dinner. Usually we go in and it's some kind of a, where they just put it all out on the table and you just get it and they just keep refilling it for us. The second day, we will have breakfast. It's the hotel buffet. They open up one of the conference rooms for us and they have a long table and it's always a hot meal. Like they'll have eggs, bacon, sausage, pancakes, waffles, French toast, bacon, sausage, I said that. Many options, so they shouldn't go hungry for that. The second day, we have another food court that we go to and we'll have those vouchers. And then that evening, we will be at a pizza place. It looks like it's like a brick oven pizza place. I tried to look it up. The last day, we'll have breakfast at the hotel, another food court, and then that evening, we will eat at the airport. So each kid, I've been sent a debit card for each one of the kids, and on that debit card, there's $25. So they can, at the airport, choose whatever they want, and they have that money to spend. If they don't use it all, I guess they have 30 days to use it wherever. Packing list. So, some of the 5 points, refillable water bottle. But when you send it with them, try to make sure it's empty until we get through TSA at the airport because they won't let it, they'll have to dump it out. In the past, we have collected water and snacks and taken them with us. That's not really an option this time. So the refillable water bottles will be how we will go. Good walking shoes. We walk a lot, like a lot. I put 2 pairs are ideal. If you can take an extra pair, there was one year where we got rained on hardcore one day. So the next day, those that had 2 pairs of shoes were very happy. Others were not, because their shoes were still a little dated from the day before. An umbrella or a poncho, sunscreen. It'll have to be the travel size to go through TSA. And I would recommend lotion and not the spray to send with them, because when we get out there, if they have it with them in their backpack throughout the day, the Capitol building and there was another one where we have to go through a screening process. They will not let the aerosol cans in, and we had to throw some away one year. So just lotion would probably be the best.
Hey,
Yeah.
any place we're gonna go to have a clear bag policy out there?
Not that I have heard, but I can double check on that and let you know.
Or like the size of the backpack.
That I haven't heard either. So they're usually pretty good about passing that on, that information. And there might be, the Capitol, I think, is the strictest one. And there was one year where we just said, just leave everything on the bus. Like we were just gonna go and come back because it wasn't worth it to go through security. We'll see. An extra set of clothes, like if they have a backpack that they'll keep on the bus, to throw in an extra set just in case we get caught in the rain again or something, just to be able to change is nice. And I said like a small cinch bag or something to keep on the bus, just, yes. Spending money. This hotel does have a pool. Last time, they did not. We do this time. So if there is time, we will allow them to go swimming. So if they want to pack their swimsuit, they may. Okay, the itinerary. So what you should know, I typed that all out for you so that you have it. Just keep in mind, everything is subject to change. We might get there and they might be like, oh, that line for the archives is all the way around a building. We're gonna try to come back another time. So we might substitute some things in and out. Mount Vernon and the Holocaust Museum and the Capitol Tour are really the only things that are timed that we have tickets for. So those have to stay at the time. The other things, the monuments, the Smithsonian's, we can kind of switch that stuff around. So if we need to, we will do that. So the first day, we'll do the buses. When we get there, we'll try to stop at the Pentagon Memorial before we head off to lunch. And then that day, we are going to Mount Vernon. Then we'll go eat and come back to the hotel. Mount Vernon is kind of like a ways out there, so it takes a chunk of time to get there and get back. The next day, breakfast at 6:45. The buses will be leaving the hotel at 7:30. We'll try to hit the archives or Smithsonian, the Holocaust Museum, Arlington Cemetery. Just know that one is some walking. And it's not Illinois walking, it is Philly, just so you know. Stop for a picture at Iwo Jima. We'll have the pizza, and then we'll try to hit the Lincoln Memorial, Korean Memorial, and the Vietnam Wall before we head back to the hotel that night. And then Friday, we'll eat, leave the hotel. We'll try to hit the Eisenhower Memorial, a picture stop for the Supreme Court. Library of Congress, they got us tickets for this one. We have not been before. So this is a new one for me, so we'll go in there. We'll go tour the Capitol, eat lunch there, do a picture stop for the Washington Monument, World War II Memorial. I heard that there is some construction going on at that one, so might not be as magnificent as it normally is. And White House picture stop. You guys might all be aware, it's the 250th anniversary this summer, so it's super cool that we're going out there because they have some stuff going on, like at the National Archive, they have parts of the Constitution and stuff that usually aren't on display that will be on display. The bad part is it's the 250th anniversary, which means traffic is up, security is up. It will take us longer to get through things. And then places like the White House, the Supreme Court, our picture stops won't be as cool because they have moved security back. So like at the White House, normally we can go up to the fence at the White House. I'm assuming this time we will be in Lafayette Park, which is across the street. They'll move that fencing back just for security purposes. That happened 2 trips ago. It was like that. They were talking when we were out there that they were going to have the verdict on the Supreme Court on Roe v. Wade, on if they were going to overturn it or not. And there was rumors that they were going to announce that when we were out there. And so we saw all the heightened security as well, where everything was pushed back. We'll do that. We'll try to hit some of the Smithsonians, and we might play it by ear, see which ones are busy, decide which ones the kids might be more interested in, and then we will head to the airport, check in, then we'll eat dinner, get on the hotel, or get on the plane, come back for the buses. I'm really bummed because right now, Ford's Theater is closed. We don't get to go there, which is like super bummer. Being from the land of Lincoln, you can't go see it. So, I think they have a bunch of shows running there right now with the anniversary celebration stuff, so it's not open for tours. When I try to differentiate, so our flights and stuff are Central Time. Everything else is Eastern Time. So we will be an hour ahead when we're out there.
April?
Yes.
On the Friday morning when we leave the hotel, will we put all our luggage on the bus?
Yes. Yep. So before we leave the hotel, we'll have everything loaded up. So in the past, we used to have all this, our snacks, we'd have it all ready to go. It was great. Bottles of water and snacks out there are insanely expensive. DC is just expensive. So what I am going to do is ask if you would be willing to just send, like, with your kid in their suitcase, a snack to share, like a small box of granola bars or fruit snacks or something. When we get out there, I will collect them all and we'll put them in a bag to have on the bus. Or if you would be willing to donate like $5 or something to go to a snack fund, when we get out there, we can place an order and either have it delivered to the hotel or con the bus drivers into stopping and picking it up when we're on the way back to the hotel, just so that we have some snacks for the kids. It is long days, and so that they're not spending $5 per snack out there, to have something that they can just grab when we get on and off the bus. So that would be completely up to you if you would be willing to do that. So the chaperone assignments, like I said, it's pretty much 2 kids per adult going on the trip. So, and the buses are divided up between girls and boys, with the parents being with their child on the bus. And the room assignments, as you can see, we're not gonna be in the rooms a super long time. One night, they don't have us getting back to the hotel till 10, and then we're going to breakfast at 6:45 the next day. So, there might not be a ton of time for swimming this time, we'll see. Any questions? I know it's a lot. I would encourage the kids to at least program my cell phone number in their phone. And then we'll have them on their lanyards, because I did one time have a kid lose their phone out there in DC. So they didn't have it to call if they needed. That was a fun phone call home. Be like, we lost the phone, we're sorry. Oops.
For the DoorDash thing, and if you're gonna have to be a parent, can it be an adult that's on the trip?
Yes, yeah. I'm sure that they can con somebody into doing that, yeah. So a carry bag, you're gonna take it onto the plane with you, and it will go in the overhead storage. And then the checked one, you give it to them at the gate, and they put it underneath the airplane. And then when we get there, you have to wait for it at the bag return. I encourage, just to save us time, I say that though, I have a lot of extra stuff I have to take, so I might have to check a bag that we would have to wait on. But.
So they have a suitcase as well?
Yeah,
And
so
then-
their suitcase, just to carry onto the plane, has to be 21 inches or shorter. And then they can take that one on the plane, it'll go in the overhead. And then they can have a backpack that they would store under their seat.
And both of those are no cost?
Correct. Yep.
And then, I'm sorry, what does it mean? I've never flown.
No, you're good.
When it says, all luggage needs a tag. What's
So
that?
I have, yes, World Strides has their own little handy dandy luggage tags that they want on all of the luggage. So I have these tonight. If you're one that knows that you'll have it, take it, put it on there. I know sometimes I might take it home and be like, where did I put that? What safe place did I put it in? So if you don't want to take these tonight and you want to get them that morning and put them on that morning, that's fine. If you want to get them and take them with you, so you would need one for both the suitcase, and at this point in time, I would say the backpack as well. So you would need 2 per person. So if you want those tonight, you can take them. If you want to wait, no judgment, they will be here that morning.
Thank you.
Yes. As far as like spending money, what I would suggest, so many places are going cashless now. So they do have, some of the debit cards that are reloadable. Those are great for the kids that don't budget very well. And if they run out, you can refill it. That is a very good option if you have that. If you were to send cash with them and we get out there and it ends up being like cashless type thing, they just need to come find me and we'll work it out. We'll figure it out. So. It's crazy how quickly it's coming. It'll be fun. I've never had a kid go and be like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have gone. So, they'll enjoy it. They might be tired. They'll probably sleep all day the day that they come back. Any of the kids have any questions? Like I said, when we go and eat, like dinner at least, when we go to the Mexican place and we go to the pizza place, It's usually like family style. They just throw it on the table and you just get what you want and they just keep bringing us refills. Well, that's all that I've got for you at this time. If you come up with any other questions and something you're like, oh, feel free to text me. Just make sure you tell me your name. I don't have everybody's numbers in my phone. Send a message on GroupMe. Whatever